Big dog?
Yes.
I ain't lying to tell. If you want some of this, let's go one-on-one right now.
Everyone's playing the hits, but I'm a DJ. And one thing I know from my DJing experience is that you don't just play the hits. You play things that people haven't found out about yet. Discovery. Not up to me. I don't have this ego where I'm a buck, talk trash, and be like, yo, I don't like this, I don't like this. I'm gonna be like this. All right, I got enough talent. I got enough belief in me. I know what I want to do. Yep, let me go do it.
Man. NFL just gave me a spanking. And I played in the NFL. They don't like me. They wouldn't do this if I were a Hall of Famer. Hey, one thing, hey, NFL say, hey, that live stream, you know what it stands for, right? Not for long. God dang, they spanked me. Woo, y'all should have seen the things that I just saw. It's crazy. Oh, man, so it's all right. Just tighten the show a little bit. Just made me get on my P's and my Q's. Why they pick P's and Q's of all the letters in the alphabet? Like, why you can't be on your W's and X's? You know, he's so stupid. All right, so now we're going to do this without doing it. We're going to go through the NFL in review without doing it. Thanks for rocking with me. We back. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, one thing about it, in this world, they say you got to go from success or failure without loss of enthusiasm, right? You got to go through it, right? Some people get bored with success. People always say you got to go failure to failure. No, success too. Just don't get bored. I'm not going to let nobody take my joy. NFL, y'all ain't slick. I love you guys too. Thanks for the pension. Thanks for the annuity. All right, anyway, let's get back into this because the show is tighter. Let's go. All right, here we go. Wild card. We ain't don't hit that play button. Hell no. 49ers edge the Eagles in a crazy ending in the thriller. We saw that, right? So if you saw this game right here, first of all, we're going to get to some of the storylines after this because that's what's even more important or at least more fascinating to me. It's not just who won, but what's going to happen to the winner and the loser. So Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions coming to this game. Defense was really rolling. Offense still had their question marks all season long. And then it showed. Brock Purdy outlasted the Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP and Jalen Hurts. And we saw that go down like it went down. So now we're in a position. Let me at least get to the end of it, right? Nah, NFL, like, I dare you. Nope, we ain't doing that. So now we're in a position where we saw that game. Let's get to this game, the game that hurt me the most, the last game of last night before we see Steelers and Texans tonight. This ain't it. This is just not it. Patriots defense dominated the Chargers from start to finish. Yeah, there was a point in this game you didn't have to give up the joysticks. You know how you grew up playing Nintendo, you had to give it up 21 points. We didn't have to do that. Smash the like button, love you guys. We didn't have to do that. But at the same time, guess what we had to do? We had to say mercy on Justin Herbert. Mercy on Justin Herbert. They were beating his ass. I mean, he didn't want to quit. He just wanted it to stop. He didn't want it to tap out. He can't play well, or at least the team doesn't play his best. Certainly that. And it's starting to get to the point where you got to look at the mental makeup of this team, mental makeup of Justin Herbert. I mean, you know I'm the biggest Herbie fan in the world, but at the same time, dog, in January, oh, man, Superman goes back to Krypton. You know, forget Kryptonite. He go back to Krypton. Can't even do it. What happened? You the man on planet Earth. You go up to Krypton, what happened? You know what I mean? The kryptonite comes out on the Chargers. It comes out on Justin Herbert, etc. So we saw that game. Congratulations, Mike Vrabel, my draft class. Respect to what he's done in that locker room. And you can see, let's have a little fun with what we see in these post games, right? You can see the Chicago Bears celebrating. Everybody's supposed to be happy in those moments. And I want us to do this breakdown right here. Oh, man. I see a nice little breakdown. I might do that a different day because the NFL is not playing. Let me do the safe stuff today. Tomorrow we get a little more gangster, see how it goes. But here's the interesting things. Let's get into the storylines, all right? So some are saying that the entire Eagles organization should be embarrassed for letting the greatest collection of offensive talent in franchise history be controlled by a toddler of an offensive coordinator. Sirianni should be ashamed for promoting Patullo, right? Howie should be ashamed for allowing Sirianni to promote him. This cannot be allowed to happen again. As we can see, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Vontae Smith, and A.J. Brown all led up to what? A L to the San Francisco 49ers, who've been dealing with their own injuries all year long. Now, what's crazy is A.J. Brown, who always is talking, right? And whether he's talking against the team or talking for himself, he's always saying something, whether it's even with his mouth or with his actions. And we all know, actions speak louder than words. So A.J. Brown has been in a real interesting position this year because you can see now A.J. Brown, he didn't play his best game yesterday. What do you have, 3 catches, 25 yards? Yuck. Right? 7 targets, and we saw some drops. I saw one for sure in the fourth quarter, and we all were like, what is going on there? So we also saw a beef with him and Coach Sirianni. A.J. Brown getting into it with Coach Sirianni. What's that about? Right? I mean, how are you going to be mad at Coach Sirianni in that moment? Like, give me the ball, give me the ball. You end up with 7 targets. That's enough to do some damage. But the drops, especially in the fourth quarter, especially in your last drive, a major drop. I think what happens is he's still 1,000 yards even when he wakes up. Out the bed, he's 1,000 yards. We saw that. That's who he is. But what's happening is now, because of all this internal friction, because of you not on the same page with your quarterback not on the same page with you and offensive coordinator not on the same page with his stars, you got too many opponents, right? It's hard to ball out when you're thinking about all of that, when you feeling all that. You're supposed to just be mindless out there. When you're in the zone, when you got to glow, you sick, you silly, you better than anything. Forget accolades, forget titles. When I'm in that space, dog, you don't even know time. You don't feel time elapsing. You don't notice things. You just do it, and it just goes. Everyone's had the glow, I hope. Like when you Bruce Leroy out there, you're just like, oh, it's coming, right? Wow. Doing the break. Oh, man, everything you do, it works. For that, whatever short period of time it is, whether it's a few plays, a game, a few games, you just got it. Well, they didn't have it there. So now people are asking real big questions, real major questions. Major questions such as, do we have the quarterback? Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy. Real question, real answers.
Brock Purdy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Brock Purdy.
This loss got shady being
honest
as he has ever been here in
when you watch the game, right?
Shady. Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts? Take your time.
I mean, that's a hard question. That is a hard question, though, because
drink up if you need to.
Because some that Brock Purdy, he's never done something that Jalen has done.
That's very true.
Super Bowl MVP for a reason, though.
Yep, very
so
true.
he can do it. I just think that Brock Purdy might be more consistent than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
When I say consistent, what do you mean? Well, I've seen him run an offense. Like today. He didn't play great today. He did not.
He didn't.
Right? He actually could have gave us the game. But when they need him to make plays, he made them. And he ain't making them with A.J. Brown or he ain't making them with Smitty. He ain't making them with them guys.
Yeah.
He ain't making them with Dallas guys. He's not making them with them dudes. He's making them with, like, reserves.
Backup.
And I'm not hating
True.
on that, but I'm just saying, like, that's pretty impressive to do it on this stage. And our quarterback couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way in the world. I look at Lamar Jackson. I think he was a phenomenal player. But I know how well he can throw the ball. You give him some certain weapons and you give him Derrick Henry, now you throwing the ball everywhere. He had one of his best stats-wise passing year last year. Why our quarterback can't do that? And I play ball, and I'm thinking, okay, solid offensive line, great running back. Oh, really, really great wide receivers. We should have no flaws.
Yeah.
So if you asking me, like, who plays the quarterback position better, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Brock Purdy.
This loss got shady being
honest
as he has ever been here in
when
the
you watch the
Speakeasy.
game, right? I'm watching him throw the ball everywhere, all around the field. I'm watching it.
Yeah,
I'm watching it. Y'all not watching.
You're watching him make reads. You're watching him not get off one and then roll out of a clean pocket.
With less talented wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't believe I'm
No,
hearing
yeah,
the
I
truth.
can't believe I'm hearing it
The
either.
Niners had no pressure today.
Yeah,
I
at
was
all.
saying, like, damn, they have no pass rushers,
Yeah,
though.
none. 16
Right?
sacks on season, maybe
Bro,
17.
it's like we can't throw the rock.
Blah, blah, blah. What movie was that? What was that scene where it's like them chickens come home to roost? There's going to be a lot of question marks about Jalen Hurts. And you're going to run out of reasons or excuses to blame coaches because that doesn't last long, right? Coaches are not making the same amount of money as a franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterback is on display every game 70, 80 times, 30, 40 passes. You can't keep saying, oh, it's what they called. It's what you did, how you balled. And we are getting to that place with Jalen Hurts. I'm just warning you guys. On this show, we don't break news. We are going to tell you how the news is going to break. We're going to have to coin that phrase. We telling you how the news is going to break. Jalen Hurts going to have a real interesting offseason. Right? This ain't the offseason where I think they're going to say pay cut. This is not the offseason where they start to say, hey, we like you, but we don't love you. But they're going to start letting it, as they do. What they did with Lamar Jackson. They start letting people just take shots at you and see how you handle it. This is going to be the offseason. Jalen Hurts already been dealing with it because people see him and he's exceeded what they think his perceived ability is. Right? And let's be real. Someone who gets yanked in a national championship game, to me, the baller in me says that person has some question marks about their game. Ain't no way Nick Saban going to do that unless he already looking at him like, you do not yank your starting quarterback in no damn national championship game. And now it's for Tua, who we have seen be the highest completion percentage, most efficient quarterback at the time when he left college. So insane college career for Tua, not so much the pros, but still good. You look at him and you're like, we yanked somebody for you. One, that person got to be sick in potential, and that was Tua. But in reality, you got to be also lesser than what we think we need. And that's Jalen Hurts. Straight up. This whole tone of like speakeasy saying like, wow, you're telling the truth. Wow, that's not podcast. That's not internet. That's not where the space is now. We're not surprised with the truth. Like, be real. Just be real. If you ain't gonna be real, you ain't gonna be here long. It's just, this ain't network where we could go to commercial and then everybody be like, all right, what you really feel? I'm glad Shady keeping it 1 thou wow. Don't need the drink to do it, but do it. Just keep it 1 thou wow on that show. I actually like their clips. I like watching their clips. And plus, a lot of people will be hitting me up like, man, you know, you cool with so-and-so? You cool with so? I'm cool with information, right? I'm cool with information. I don't hate people. I just don't mess with people, okay? So don't ever get it twisted in here. We going to always try to feed each other the facts and the real of it all. So I thought this was interesting, too. We all seen this. This is wild. Hopefully the NFL likes this. Maybe they won't. Mm-hmm. Look at this. We got all 3 of Ben Johnson's handshakes with Matt LaFleur. Look at that fast one. Oh, he must have won that game. Then that one's like a little bit of like a bro. That was the best one. And this one, woo! What is wrong? Hey, if your coach is petty, wop, your team don't stand a chance of showing some real leadership. They are acting petty in them streets. I love it too much. No lie. Coaches are, I always call coaches this, a collection of the egos is a coach. Coaches are cocky. Oh, they cocky. Think about it. You got the best athletes in the world. In NFL, you got 53 of them, 58 of them, 60 of them. You want to count practice squad and all that, right? You got all these guys who are the man. Everybody's fantasy and dream is to make it, right? They actually made it. Then you got dudes out there wearing this guy's jersey. The guy that you're coaching, the guy that is under your thumb, I can make you play or make you benched. I could bench you. I could do whatever I want to do. I could get you some more money, or I could make it hard on you to get that money. I'm in charge of him. The guy that got everybody out there screaming his name. And that's just one player. Coaches are a collection of the egos. They act crazy, right? So that's how the game goes. So when the coaches get a chance to flex, they flex. They know they got to keep their image. They got to keep the perception that I am a leader of men. At the same time, they some big-ass boys just like the players are. Playing a child's game. It's just that simple, okay? So beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm glad you guys came back. I obviously know I probably lost a few of you. You might lose some, but you just lost one. What's up? Win some? I don't know what Lauren Hill said. Shout out to the homie. Okay, so let's go into this. Beat it up in the comments, and then we're going to get into these college football topics, and then we're going to get into these politics and deeper issues. So Francisco Aguilera is now #1. He said, yo, Chargers disappointed. Yeah, they did. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm at the place with the Chargers right now where I'm with the Clippers. I don't even care what you do in the regular season. Just qualify. I don't care if you win a gang of games. I don't care if you go 17-0. I'm not going into the playoffs any hyper. I am battered. I am bruised. My ego's hurt. I never look at the Chargers anymore as, we're going to. You know how it is? Like, you've heard it enough. You're in that relationship. I've been in that relationship where you're like, I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, I love you. I'm going to be better. I don't want to hear it anymore. You're just done. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yes, I still got my season tickets. Yes, I'm still going to go to the games. Yes, I'm going to lose my voice still. But my deep belief is not there anymore. I'm just like, and I love Harbaugh. I love Herbert. I love our squad. And that's a sad place to be. Like, I don't have a deep joy for us, our future. I'm just happy we got a squad. That's sad. Clippers the same way. Even though the Clippers have been rolling of late, man, miss me. Because you just know there's a glass ceiling. Like, some teams just feel like they got a glass ceiling. And Buffalo Bills make me feel like that a little bit, even though this may be the year because so many people are missing that usually are in their way. Lamar Jackson, obviously, Patrick Mahomes. Maybe this is the year. But the point is, y'all not getting me hyped up and geeked up like that, not deep no more. Can't do it. Can't do it. Okay, so let's get into this topic right here. Blah, blah, blah. Pitiful Texas Tech, Alabama performances made Group of 5 complaints even more idiotic. Y'all remember this? The problem with the college football playoff isn't Group of 5 schools. The problem is the playoff itself. So we going to try to anticipate, because next Monday, a week from today, we're watching the college football championship game, right? It's going to be sick, too. It's between Oregon. Oh, it's not? Oh, no. Let me stop. Shout out to George Rice who went to Oregon. Indiana is playing Miami. Now, just on the surface, let me just tell you what I think is going to happen. Indiana's going to beat Miami. Typically, these games go like this. There's a talent conversation, and then there's an execution conversation. Indiana may be less talented, maybe, and I don't even know if they are, but man-to-man, personnel to personnel, they probably are less talented. I'm not talking about just the stars, because we're going to get into that. We're going to dispel the myth of these 4 and 5 stars. That's coming up. Y'all not the same. Right? I think Miami has more talent. If you'd ask me blindly before I know records and how they win and, point differential, I'll say, yeah, give me Miami dudes. But what comes with that is the curse of the gifted. You ever heard of the curse of the gifted? The talented typically, this is all generalizations, the talented typically skip steps. That's why the best football player ever is Tom Brady. Greatest, I should say. Right? And Tom Brady is not the most talented football player. But that helps him actually because he won't skip steps. Right? The other GOAT was Joe Montana. 6th rounder, 3rd rounder, not the top of the draft guys because they don't skip steps. The other guy is Jerry Rice in football, right? Doesn't skip steps. So if you got somebody supremely talented, the first thing you need to think about when it's coming to balls and strikes, how you going to call it? Because they got a lot of balls. They're going to hit home runs. But them strikes are going to be one, they going to think I ain't got to do all that. They're going to think I ain't got to do that. So in this conversation of Indiana versus Miami, what I'm scared of for Miami is they're so talented that they may not do all those little things like Indiana will. Remember Indiana in the game, they had a fumble, and then guess who recovered it? An offensive lineman running 30 yards down the field just to help out on the play. That's not normal, but that's Indiana. So Indiana will take advantage of you. What I always say about Bill Belichick, it's not how many games you win, it's how many games are lost. More games in the NFL are lost than won. More games in college football are lost than won. Think about it. We both talented enough to go out there and win it, but who's going to make the mistakes that I could take advantage of? That's who's going to lose. The winner's going to be the one who takes advantage of it. The loser is going to be the one who makes the mistakes. I think Miami's going to make more mistakes, but worse, I think Indiana will take advantage of every mistake Miami makes. And they'll score 14 points off of one mistake. Not even 7. They'll score 14. Their defense will score and their offense will score off of your one mistake, your one turnover. Be careful. Rarely do you see teams like this. I played against the Patriots when they were rolling. Rarely do you see teams like this where you're like, you can't lie to yourself. So your eyes, you try not to believe your lying eyes, and you see them get off the bus, you see them in warm-ups, you're like, man, ain't no way we going to lose to them. Ain't no way. Then you start playing and you start looking up, you look at the score, you're looking at them when you're playing, you're like, they all right, they better than I thought, but we got them. Then you look up and the score, you're like, this ain't adding up, right? I think Indiana wins in that contest. But this conversation is also about how the college football playoff system was designed and how it's designed by itself is a failure. So look at all the themes we went through. Remember when Oregon beat James Madison? Get James Madison out of here. We never want to see that team again. They lost by 17, even though they were down like 98 at half. But, I don't want to see them anymore. Okay, let's follow that all the way through. Oregon plays Texas Tech, and they spanked them. We can't say that about Texas Tech. They had the #1 team in the portal. They paid for their team, but at the same time, you're like, right? But they lose by 23. We ain't saying much. They lose by 17. We saying don't ever, ever, ever get in the damn playoffs again. Group of 5. This team, when they lose, yeah, we expected it. This team, when they lose, well, okay, that's what happens. You the 4 seed, you're supposed to win. But at the same time, we get it. So one has a deeper belief that you think they got a chance, and one, you're like, you ain't got no chance, no belief. Oregon, then, look at this. 34. The worst beatdown was Oregon getting spanked by Indiana. Worse than James Madison when Oregon beat them. But we ain't saying Oregon should never be in the tournament, but we saying it about them. That's one of their examples in this article. That's why they're saying that. Okay, let's get into this. The Alabama situation. Alabama wins by 10 after being down 17 against Oklahoma. Right? All right. Nobody said Oklahoma shouldn't be in it. Nobody said Alabama shouldn't be in it, obviously, because they advanced to the Rose Bowl where they get beat by 35. We just saw a 34-point loss. This was worse. Indiana spanked Alabama more than they did Oregon, and it's hard to believe that, but they did. Tulane, what you doing up in here, Tulane? Lost by 31. Didn't we just see 35? Didn't we just see 34? We told them not to be in there. 31. I don't believe in no damn Tulane. I don't care. What if they lost by 2? Oh, well, maybe. They lost by 31. So what? They lost by less than them. Lost by less than them. Oregon. Alabama. Y'all get the point, huh? Y'all get the point. So we got to be careful with these narratives. We got to be careful how we talk about things because you come back and you sound hypocritical. You sound like a fool, right? But a lot has changed. Indiana, they rewriting the script right in front of us. NIL's rewriting the script. The transfer portal's rewriting the script. And Indiana is rewriting the script. Everybody sees it. Everybody notices it. But what are you paying attention to? What are you really witnessing? Let's check it out.
The era of taking these young freshmen and trying to play against older players is over. They're playing against grown men. This era where everyone's telling them how great they are, just show up in college and you're going to win. It doesn't happen that way.
Boys, as they say, right? That's what happens. So let's get into this even more so. So those days are over. Now let's explain it a little deeper. All right? Watch this. This is an insane breakdown right now. Those days are over? Why are they over? I want to hear.
He's cracked the code of the future of college football where experience and age matters way more than stars. Look how old his team is. First, look at all the year 5 and year 6 guys. This experience will win out over a 5-star that's only 18. How about this one? The average age of their team is 23 years old. That's an NFL team. The Packers' average age is 25. In fact, Indiana doesn't have a single offensive player under 21, and they play more 6th-year seniors than underclassmen. A lot of Indiana's old impact players don't show up on these charts because 6 years ago they were only rated a 3-star. The true blue chip 5-stars, they're off to the NFL by 21. Here's what Signetti looks for. You're a 2 or 3-star out of high school, but by the time you're transferring, you're up to a 4-star and 22 years old. This is Fernando Mendoza, by the way. He won the Heisman. He admitted in a recent interview his type is to bring 15 or 20 guys out of high school, but fill the rest of the roster with guys who started 2 or 3 years at another Power 4 school. But while these guys didn't necessarily have 5 stars by the name when they were 18, they will likely still outplay the 5-stars who are 4 or 5 years younger than them. Sure, there's always going to be a Jeremiah Smith here or there, but for the most part, a team of old guys will win in college football. And Kurt Signetti building a disciplined team that's old AF is the new way in college football.
Blah, blah, blah. Fascinating, right? Right before our very eyes. We getting caught up in talent. We're looking at the talented teams every year, BCS ranking, every year, college football playoff predictions, every year, which team has the bigger, faster, stronger guys. Never thought about, wow, they changed the rules with college eligibility. Wow, COVID. Wow, you can go to JUCO now and those 2 years don't even count. So now we're seeing 6, 7 years, 7-year starters, players. Carson Beck, look at his old ass. Mendoza. Oh, average age of a college team, 21. 23 average age, 21 for the offensive starters. So what happens is you get into late bloomers. And you also playing the age game against each other, right? So a 4-star, 5-star, let's use a 5-star at 18, graduating high school. And then you got a guy who went to a small school, group of 5 or JUCO, whatever it may be. He in his 5th, 6th year. That sucker is 22, 23, 24. Do y'all remember when y'all were 23? Some of y'all still are. Remember when you were 18? Y'all want to wrestle each other? Me at 23 and me at 18? Oh, please don't play with him. Leave him alone. Like your kids in there. Leave him alone. Sometimes I got to use this on my son because he's just stronger than his sisters. They're 6 and 5. I don't care how monstrous they are. I'll be like, MJ, chill. MJ, don't do that. You're 4 years older than her, okay? Do you want me to go grab a 14-year-old and wrestle with him? You want to see how that feels? No. Okay, well, don't do that to her, okay? We don't play the gender game. My daughter going to be strong. Just saying he old, right? Old. You got a 22-year-old going against an 18-year-old? What are we doing here? In terms of you're closer to maturity, full maturity, prefrontal cortex, all that stuff. You closer to knowing who you are, closer to your identity in full. 18? It's the first time I had to use an alarm clock. My mama usually wake me up at 18. 22? Man, I got reps of being a grown-ass man. Reps. Real spit. So on that field, why we see that team play like that, they execute. They old as hell. They know what they doing. Just more mature. Talk to them, Signetti.
It's a process, and it's a way you go about doing things. It's a standard. It's an expectation. High standard, high expectation. It's accountability, right? It's discipline, commitment, toughness, work ethic, pride. You know, it's wanting to be great versus wanting to be normal. And, you know, normal kind of equals average. And average is okay. There's no problem with average, except in my business. My business, average is the enemy. And to be great, you got to have special focus, special commitment, special preparation, and discipline, and the ability to say no to some things. All right? So you stack great days on top of each other. You play the game the way we want to play the game, one play at a time, 6 seconds a play. Every play's got a life and a history of its own. Play every play like it's nothing. Don't be affected by success or failure. Be able to compartmentalize and go to the next play. Playing it the same way. Because what happens then? You get to the end of the game, game's on the line. You're used to practicing that way, playing that way, right? You're just doing your thing. That guy's looking at the scoreboard and he's like, you know, tightening up a little bit. You win those games.
Blah, blah, blah. The life lesson out of this, because I've been in this position before, in terms of like scoreboard watching, it's the same as circumstances. If you're born in the hood, you're born broke, you're born in adverse conditions, you can either A, become a victim of your circumstance, a product of your environment, or B, you can produce for your environment, okay? You could be a victor in your environment. Simple as that. That's scoreboard watching, right? You can make plays anywhere. I don't care where you're from. That's why I love talking to itty bitties. That's why I love coaching the kids. I'm like, dog, please miss me. Please miss me. Please miss me with this whole, oh, I can't because I'm. You didn't start no lower than me. There's no way you could, just objectively speaking. So now what's your issue? Well, I couldn't. If you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can. So scoreboard watching is just like in real life. You start looking around instead of just making the next play. Make the next thing happen in your world. And it all comes from conditioning. This is why it's so important that you get well conditioned. You have great habits, and habits form early, or habits are hard to break. So if you're a kid and your parents are allowing you to be on that iPad, you're going to be on that iPad. If you let the kids have candy for dinner, they're going to have candy for dinner. If they're not in an environment where all of a sudden the conditioning is happening, and it's not just parents, it's teachers. It's not just parents and teachers. It's family members. It's not just family members, it's coaches. But wherever, if they don't get good conditioning, if someone ain't sitting there and say, hey, tomorrow night, don't eat that. We're not serving that. If they don't get that, tough. Now we talking tough. You got to get conditioned. And everyone thinks about conditioning physically. He's talking about mental conditioning. Straight up. The people who are successful come from good families who were attentive to their kids, paid attention. Kids weren't perfect. Oh, no. You ain't got to follow the road to perfection to win. You just got to be on the right path and know that when you step out of line, get back in line. You watch Indiana, they make mistakes. It's just they don't make that many. And when you make one, we certainly going to make you pay for it. Well, not everybody going to pay for it because, look, you remember this article? Troy Aikman's bad NIL experience convinced Joe Buck not to fund Indiana football. He said, I ain't paying for it. Doesn't seem like a great program for the donor. What a transition. You ain't going to pay for it. Everybody ain't paying for it. He said, look, Troy has talked to me about what went on at UCLA, Dante Moore, allegedly, and kind of what he got for the money that he donated, and that will not be something that I will be partaking in. Remember, he gave it to him, and he didn't even get a thank you note. But the problem is they can't. Eligibility, NCAA eligibility means when you get paid, you're not even supposed to know who paid you, and more importantly, you can't thank them because you don't even know who did it. And if you did, you're still not supposed to thank them. So he said he left. Buck added that the UCLA player, Dante Moore, that supposedly received a sizable check from Aikman, you don't get the money back from what I understand. It doesn't seem like a great program for the donor, right? Now, they got Indiana, has Mark Cuban and others, big money there. So I'm not being a smart aleck about it. I think there are a lot of farmers around Indiana that are making money. It's almost like everybody has come out of the woodwork, and it's like, let me have my little piece of this because it's been so long, and they're willing to send money in from what I hear. Not everybody going to support with money. But there's a lot of ways you do it. Always remember the 3 T's. Time, some people support it with time. Talent, some people support it in, hey, my expertise, I will lend it to you. Or treasure, money. A lot of times NIL just means treasure. Like, we good, we don't need you around the program. No, we good, we don't need you coming in here having no panel. Teaching these kids life skills. No. How much? This is the problem, though. I always told schools this. I'm like, dog, that money ain't coming back. I could get some more money somewhere else, but that money ain't coming back. Y'all too fluid with it. I seen cats donate for a building. Next thing you know, it's another building. You're like, what happened to my building? Oh, we tore it down. What? Simple as that. So beat it up in the comments because a lot going on in college football. We're going to shift to kind of like what goes on in the NBA. And this is an interesting topic about Ja Morant we're going to get into. Who's number 1 in this chat right now? It's probably Francisco. Oh, no, Miles. Good for you. Bills wide right coming. Just wait. Nah, I don't know about that. Football Wisdom says Miami got better athletes and talent. Indiana's better at playing disciplined football and winning games. Yes. As I tell the itty-bitties all the time, it's not how good you are. It's how well you play. Miami's hella good. I don't know how well they're going to play. They ain't even play that well last game against Ole Miss. Be real. Not insane. They gave Ole Miss all them chances to stay and hang around. Almost tricked it off. Crazy fourth quarter because of that. You do that with Indiana, good luck. You drop it, they got it. Simple as that. Francisco Aguilera, on paper, Miami, but team play, Indiana wins big. Yeah. I told you there's one way this game is not going to go. Miami is not going to blow out Indiana. I don't see that no way, no how. I'll come up here and just give you a bowl of crow and eat it. I say this, it's going to be Miami close. I don't even believe that, but I'm just going to say it. I can see that happening. The real way it could be Indiana close, I don't see that happening. I see it's going to be Indiana big. Like, double digits, 10 plus, something like that. Okay, this is interesting. Let's go to basketball real quick and some of the storylines. We know Ja Morant right now potentially will get traded. We just saw Trae Young get traded. Stars, ballers. Nah, we good on you. It's so crazy, right? Breath of fresh air. You need to go somewhere else. Go fix this. So this is an interesting explanation of why part of the reason Ja Morant's getting traded is obviously all the off-the-court incidents, all the stuff he's been through, all the stuff that we've witnessed, all the stuff that's kept him from being one of not only the face of the franchise anymore, even though he is, but more face of the NBA. Let's hear it. I think this is interesting.
Take on Ja's situation. The best I could do is remember when I was younger and my home, my squad, y'all, my niggas around me, they don't have money. I'm the one with the money. I know I got a bright future. My homies, they ain't on payroll. They my homies. They live good when they with me. When I gotta go by stunning them and go to work and all that, they gotta go back to being who they gotta be. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say, they in them streets. And I was aware of that. So if I was going through something at that point in time, something public like what Slam going through, I said I could imagine the rebellious attitude I would have if my homies is egging that attitude on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like to, and also I was like, what they also need to understand, what we also need to understand is we the only ones talking about this like that. It's not I don't know this for a fact, but just in a lot of situations like this, when we all talking about it, the actual person and the people we talking about, they purposely stay away from this. Mm-hmm. They stay away from all this we saying. They stay away from hearing this. And they got people that'll protect them from, that's gonna hear it for them and gonna protect them from hearing it. So it's hard for the message to get through. Right. You got people looking dead in the cameras on TV like, man, I'm talking to you, Ja. Man, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard for the message to get through, man, because I'm the breadwinner. I wish a nigga would tell me something. What's the necessity? I say, because I could imagine if I would have did it at that time, my answer would have been to show y'all don't know who I got problems with. Y'all only know this. Y'all only know the me that y'all know. You know what I mean? Y'all know the rapper or whatever. But shit, we in these streets. And I need them niggas to know every time. I need them niggas to know when I ain't on that court or when I ain't on that stage, it's on me. It's like, Tune, that's the answer for niggas who really in the streets.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was like, before you say that, I like, don't fall into that trap that these people doing on TV. Saying, cause he ain't no thug. Cause he ain't in the street, he ain't about that. He ain't no gang, you don't want that. How y'all know you don't want, y'all know that boy? Do y'all know that boy? Cause I don't.
What's your take on John?
Blah, blah, blah. What's interesting, and we went a lot of places, but I think we should hone in on this. That root. Whoever you are, what you are, that root. And even when it blossoms into the success that Ja Morant has had, you know, and it's next level inordinate amount of success. He's in a whole different space than most people who have ever walked this planet. But that root is from the mud, as they say, right? That root is really deeply entrenched in something that is counterproductive to where he is right now. So basically, as we were talking about conditioning, he was raised to not be who he is. Now, you play basketball, that's the only thing that's consistent. But some of his habits, some of the things, the way that you're going to go about your work, the way you're going to go about with your attitude, who you're going to be around, all this stuff is not conducive and supportive of where you are right now. Because with that ascension comes a different level of work, different level of perception, different level of responsibility, right? And who hasn't been there? You got the homie that you just can't take everywhere. You got the homie that you just can't take there. But then at the same time, you got to be loyal to him because that's loyalty to you. That's your identity wrapped up in that relationship. Part of you, who you are right now that's dribbling on that court, is a dude who owes him your life or owes him some money or owes him some times where he took you to practice or owes you nothing, but you just love that dude. He helps shape your mindset, how you get after it. I got my dog from him. And then they like, well, sorry, sir, here, no dogs allowed. What you gonna do? Ain't it crazy? So what you need to do, you just can't dismiss it because that's carving out part of your heart, part of your mind. But at the same time, you can't bring that with you because you just might as well just carve off a lot of your potential. And we see Ja in that conflict. We see him right there in those crosshairs. And what's interesting is he said, don't fall victim to like what everyone doing on TV, which is saying, oh man, what you doing? Why you faking it? Why you doing all that crazy stuff? He's like, how you know you faking it? Right? It's rare that a real street dude, it's rare that somebody outside really makes it. It's rare. Trust me. It's rare. You got most people that made it are from those situations like me, but I was inside looking through the window most times, right? Either I was busy at practice, the window of riding down the street in that station wagon into my coach's car, looking at all them, I'm like, oh man, they still outside? That's the window you're looking through? Or you at home? Got to finish that homework. Got to finish doing these extra push-ups, and I'll look outside. They still outside? Most of us who make it do that. Very few do the, I'm outside and I'm going to make it. It's hard to serve two gods. Yep. Ja could have easily just tapped into what the NBA was saying, but you know what he said, what Lil Wayne said. rebellious. Like, nah, you ain't changing me up. And this is what's crazy. We got to change that cultural resistance. There's a cultural resistance to change up when it shouldn't be. Just like you shouldn't be just someone who only knows one language. You need to be bilingual, trilingual. Even if it's not Spanish or French or Italian, it just needs to be, yeah, I'm talking to my boys and then I'm also talking to these men. It's a different way to talk. People be like, you changing it up. If your car has one gear, good for you. Automatic. My car has 6 gears, I probably get you. I'm changing it up. Change it up. You're supposed to change it up. You don't talk to your kids the same way you talk to your daddy. You don't talk to your kids the same way you talk to your homeboy. I hope you don't. Don't you get around the kids and be like, hey, what you doing? Oh, you so crazy. Put that down. You ain't that damn nice to nobody else. Right? Even though you know you could and you should. Interesting. All right, let's get it up, beat it up in the comments. We're going to talk about Antonio Brown, what he facing. There's a clearer video of what he went through. We're going to have to break that down. We're also going to break down what's happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the lady, the body cam footage. We're going to break that down, different perspectives. Doc Rivers saying one thing, and then we got some people talking about the other side of it. On this show, we going to start. You see how we dripping slowly but surely. These political topics going to be in this show because I'm tired of y'all over there beefing. I grew up around Crips and Bloods, and they all were the homies. So I'm going to do the same with this world at large. I'm going to make Republicans and Democrats the homies. Y'all need to stop beefing, losing people over politics. All right? So Francisco Aguilera asked, do I think he will finally get it together? No. I think Ja's, as they say, a real one. So, you know, he really don't want to switch it up because that identity, that badge of honor that he has as I'm a real one, is just he going to carry it. He's made so much money. He's going to make so much money. Not only has he made it so much money that he ain't even thinking about, like, why change it up for what? And change what about my life? I already got the yacht. I already got the plane or whatever I need. The dude's made hundreds of millions of dollars already, and he's, what, 23? Whatever age? Everybody bought the parents a crib. Like, what are we doing here? Financial advisor, like, yeah. After all this craziness you've been doing, you still got 107 million net. So I don't think he's changing it up. And then also, I don't see anything out there that he wants other than to be a better player, to be the man in the franchise to change it up. That comes with a set of standards, but Anthony Edwards is pulling it off, and I think Josh is going to try and pull off what Anthony Edwards is doing, right? And Anthony Edwards is not the same as Ja, but you get my point. He didn't want to be the face of the NBA either. He's like, no, I want to live. I want to just do me. So I want to be able to curse when I want to curse. I want to clown when I want to clown. I don't want to be like buttoned up. Simple as that. So I don't think he's going to change. But y'all tell me, beat it up in the comments. Yeah, Football Wisdom says Ja could have behaved. Number 3 right now. I see you, Football Wisdom. Get on that scoreboard. Ja could have behaved and been the face of the NBA. Yeah. We all could have done something and been something. That's the Frankenstein experiment. Be careful. Okay? If you were a little bit taller, you would have been in the NBA. Man, if I was taller, I would have. Be careful. Just accept the cards as they're placed in front of you. Play that hand. Because Ja could have played. His hand is, damn, you super quick and athletic. Super, like next level, blurry. But at the same time, you got this little maturity conversation, maturity issue, because you want to stay grounded. You want to stay down, as they say. Well, here's somebody else that had a little issue. Antonio Brown. Let's talk about this. Now we can see it clearly.
The final minutes of May 16th, 2025, we see in this newly released surveillance video, Antonio Brown punch a man. A fight breaks out, multiple people get involved, becoming 3-on-1 against the man. Security eventually breaks it up, Brown seen kicking the security guard. We see that man come into view of this other surveillance camera right after. It's 11:55 p.m. It's at this moment Brown allegedly gets a gun from this car in the corner. As the man gets pushed out, Brown jogs over with what authorities say is a gun in his hand, goes around the corner. And at 11:56, you see people react to gunshots being fired.
Okay, let me stop right there. I haven't been in this predicament in a long time. And when I was, we didn't have camera phones. So thankfully, you know, I'm old now. But I've been there before when it's the ruckus. I've been there before when they about to get something started. But it was like fights. I get it. But at the same time, this was a fight at this moment. Do you really like gotta see it and film it? Do you know that can end and make you U-turn real fast like they are about right now?
Brown walks back in at 11:57, followed by security with their weapons drawn. He's walked out at 11:58 p.m. in handcuffs.
You're not under arrest. You're detained. I'm not going to tell you again, all right?
In police body camera video, Brown is heard saying he's cut up from being pulled by security and that he did nothing wrong.
I did nothing, brother. Why are you talking? Okay. You're not under arrest. You're detained. I'm not going to tell you again, all right? I can't fit in here by my legs.
Damn, I'm glad it wasn't me. If he can't fit. Twice as big as him. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the real. Here's the real about this one. Because we know after that, then he got the indictment. He was out the country. I don't know if he was living in Dubai, but they found him in Dubai. Then they found him in Dubai. What happened from there? Brought him back home, right? Extradition. And now he's facing those charges of attempted murder. Here's the one thing about it that's interesting. I talked to a lawyer who said because it's Florida, because there's no footage of the actual incident, even though there's footage, there's no footage of that incident, like the actual pop, 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 pop. But everybody know there was a cooling period that Antonio had a choice. That's what between the fight and then the walk through and the walk over and the jog over. You got that time right there to chill. Or you can say, let's get real. He decided the latter, let's get real, and then I think now he has to deal with it. But the lawyer thinks that Antonio Brown, because of Florida, because there is no exact footage, may be able to worm his way out of this in a sense. We'll see. We're going to keep up with that because obviously he had y'all know this? The 6 greatest consecutive years at the wide receiver position belong to, not Jerry Rice, they say, Antonio Brown. Insane. So, whew, that's crazy. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this. And let's chalk it up. Ben CW is now number 2. Give him love. It's amazing we can all watch the same videos and see completely different things. Yeah, people aren't right. They are right next to life-threatening danger and don't know it. They just recorded on their phones unaware they are so close to death. Yeah. One of the things that really fascinates me is when I see someone die. Obviously, I'm not wishing for it, obviously. But watching the video, I know it's coming because that's why I'm watching this video. Nipsey Hussle, I always tell you guys, I was on vacation when Nipsey Hussle got killed. And literally it ruined my vacation because I was so preoccupied with him getting killed and watching the whole thing and like knowing what the news reports were saying happened and who this guy was and why he did it, and then trying to apply that narrative to this moment and saying that doesn't add up or that does add up, and just watching Nipsey lay there and then watching the guy come back and all that stuff, right? But most importantly, for me, what connected me more than just the death, it was like, wow, you know, he's gone right there. And, you know, I had one of my boys who was a first responder was like, when they were still saying he's alive and stuff, he was like, nah. He texted everybody, was like, nah, he gone, dog. But, you know, they ain't gonna say that, I guess, immediately. So the point where I was sitting there like, wow, I grew up right there. Like, you know, Crenshaw and Slauson, many a walks. Like, that's the neighborhood. And I was like, grew up there, right? And had a chance to meet Nipsey right before this happened, like a couple of months before this happened. Walked in the store, walked the Marathon. See my hats? Yeah, right there. I got the hat somewhere. Well, both of them right there, okay? So I walked in the store. The dude who's working there, I don't know him. He knew me. He was like, what's up, Marcellus? You back here? Respect. I'm like, and then I start walking around looking at the stuff. I'm like, oh, this stuff is fresh. Like, I knew it, but I was like, dang, I ain't see all the levels, right? Just seen website and stuff. So I was like, oh, yeah, let me get this, and this. He said, let me call up Nip, man. He not too far from here right now. He'll love to see you. I don't know if this is an angel. I don't know what this is. This is weird. Divine intervention or just me being stubborn? Well, I was like, no, don't do that. I say, I'll catch him when he's in here. Don't disturb him to come here. One, I was thinking like, man, how long is it going to take him to come here? But two, man, that dude living his life. I'm here to support. I'm not sitting here because then that turns into, oh, man, I got you, homie. No. I ain't want none of that. I just want to say, I want your bottom line to increase because you doing good right here. Should have took the opportunity, huh? Should have waited those few minutes. Should have just let him come through, and then I could have dapped it up with him and got some one-on-one with him. Man, I watched that video 1,000 times on vacation. Every time my kids go to sleep, I'm just sitting there. Every time my kids were going into the damn play center, I'm watching. I'm like, It's wild. Anyway, Antonio Brown, receiver, got issues. Another receiver that has issues, but they're different. Let's hear Cooper Kupp talk about all this coverage of the game ain't the same.
It's fun. It's fun seeing the things that the boys notice. They make you rewind all the time. They're always rewinding. I was actually just asked about this, and the color commentators, analysts, it's such a hard job, so difficult. I gotta mute that thing sometimes. Look, boys, sit down. Let me explain to you what's really happening. Chris Collinsworth, I love you. Let me explain what happened here. So I'm sure the boys love my dissertations, but it's fun.
Blah 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 blah. So let's talk through that real quick because there's much meatier topics than that. The crazy thing about that is. I told you I watch stuff on mute, and I know how that could come out as a hater or bitterness, or you just mad you ain't talking it, and it's really not that. It's the deep explanation of things really can't occur in the medium of what they have as currently designed. Like color commentator, broadcaster, they're not gonna go there because they're brands and they're representing big brands, and a lot of times they don't bring you the real dope. A lot of times they don't sit there and tell you exactly what this is. A lot of times they don't sit there and break it down like you were like, yo, break it down. Caleb Williams and Troy Aikman got something going on. Joe Buck had to even go in there. It's like not once, but twice Caleb Williams stood us up. And so then you're Joe Buck and you're sitting there in the middle of something between your boy, your broadcast partner, and a star quarterback. They may even have the game this week. I don't know if ESPN got it or not, whatever. And then you got your personal feelings, then you got your professional outlook, and then you got to also make sure that, you got a wide general audience. So when something happens, you're not necessarily giving it pure dope. But then if you're a former player or just somebody that knows ball, you're like, turn it down. Listen, on this play right here, you see that false step? You see that false step that led to him turning his hips and his eyes lost discipline. In that moment, you got to make sure that you know those things, right? You got to be alert. You got to be aware. You got to tell your kids, judge yourself and judge your opponent. If he's the short one, you got to know you got to have leverage. You got to get down, right? If he's fast, you got to respect his gangster. All that kind of stuff. You don't get that necessarily. I've seen that a lot of times. So a lot of times you're getting on broadcast, you're getting the BS, basically. You're getting a lot of the BS. We'll turn back into that because I want to get into that more, but I want to really get into this divisive topic. What happened in Minnesota with the young lady who was shot and killed with the ICE agent and running into the ICE agent, running over the ICE agent, whatever you want to call it, the impact. So we're gonna take our time on this one before we get back to some more. But we're going to lead off with sports because this is Doc Rivers talking about that incident.
What happened in Minnesota was a straight up murder, in my opinion. And it's awful. This lady was probably trying to go home and she didn't make it home, and that's really sad. So the whole ICE thing it's a travesty. It's clearly, to me, we're attacking brown people. And I just happen to be brown. And I don't think it should just be brown people who are upset at this. I think we all have to be. I don't care what side of this thing you are on politically. What's going on in our country right now is absolutely wrong as far as the race stuff. The politics, I'm not going to get into. The race stuff, I will. And it's just wrong, and we have to do something. But the only thing we can do right now is keep speaking up because it doesn't seem like they care. And that's troublesome. Last thing I'm going to say, because I don't want to stay on this, but I could. I keep thinking about kids. And when I grew up, the president was always the role model. And I think about that and the effect of being a bully, lying. How is that good for our kids? And that worries me for our future. So,
blah, blah, blah. So that's Doc Rivers' perspective. And I want to say it with grace that obviously his politics leaks through as he was speaking on this. And his bias, like everyone else's bias, when it comes to politics, is top layer. Like even on top of the epidermis. Like people people lie all the time. People hide things all the time. But when it comes to politics, and I guess religion, as they say, don't bring them up because people can't hide it. So you know his politics are leaning left. We get it. We hear it. Now, at the same time, I want to give him the grace of this. Maybe he put that out a little too early. Maybe. Because there's been obviously video evidence that shows something of a different picture than what Doc Rivers said. And I'm not just talking about the fact that Doc Rivers said he's brown. I thought he was black. But again, nobody's black, so everybody, what? So let's get into this conversation. We're going to go deeper, okay? We're going to get all perspectives to it, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to have 3 sides to every story, right? Your side, their side, and the truth. Well, let's look at the truth.
Get out of the car.
Whoa!
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Whoa! Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's talk. Because what comes off of that video is obviously first, that's the perspective that we wish we would have saw at first, because maybe people wouldn't have went to such extremes in trying to explain this. All the other different vantage points had some confirmation bias in it. Oh, look, he was in the way. He got in the way of the car. The ICE agent shouldn't have done that. Oh, she was just trying to go home. Like all those different perspectives where we heard that validated what left and right said. But then you see this one, and not just the fact that obviously an agent was hit. You heard it, boom, boom, boom. But the commentary to it that led up to it. Those moments where you're literally shaking your head. You're like, the level of entitlement, arrogance, how dismissive you can be with law enforcement. When you know, ultimately, even if you win, you can lose. You could be winning a point. You could be right. It could be your constitutional right. And someone else is going to have to live for that because you're gone and proving that. Now, some people are saying, hey, it's justified. It's all over the place. But one more time, let's look at this. As we see in this moment, this is how it ends. This is how I think social media is now trending, where they show you the ending first. And then they go into the fullness. Okay, in this moment, as you can see, there are ICE agents there, the lady in the car, the dog in the car. Please, somebody update me on what happened to the dog. I don't remember. In this moment, you're talking. I'll give you volume. But obviously, there's no level of respect between her and the officer doing his duty. Okay, I get it.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
Okay. Could be worse.
We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran.
Okay. Okay, so right now we're in a space where it's like, you're not disobeying the law, but you're certainly not being courteous. You're being flippant. You think this is cute. You think that I have a dangerous job, 9 to 5, whatever it may be for the officer's hours, and I'm not on full alert. Like I have tactical training. You think I have that just because I can't deal with an F-bomb or something? No, it's to actually perceive all threats. And the reason why people in military, in law enforcement shoot to kill is because they don't know all the threats. So they're going to assume the worst. And if you make them feel threatened.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
Okay. Right now, even though you're doing all this, this is not going to tempt me to use excessive force on you. I'm not going to try and shoot and kill. Even though you're not understanding where you are, as they say, on the field. You're not knowing what the game is saying right now. We're in a different space. Right now, you don't have a weapon. We do, but we know we're trained, so we're going to respect you. But that is a weapon. That right there is a weapon. Don't use it. Don't use it.
Okay.
Okay, out the car. Out the car. That's your moment of truth. Ain't this sad? This lady has a kid. I heard her has a kid. That's her wife right here. Dog in the back. You know. Version of American Dream. Another version of the American Dream. You got a moment of truth right now. Sports tells you life. You got a moment. Don't make a bad business decision, as we say in sports.
Get out of the fucking car.
All right, that's the third one. Now, he's cursing back. She's trying to get in. She's trying to go back. Obviously not using her turn signal. Obviously not checking for officers or even pedestrians, anybody. Just thinking it's too cool, too cool, too cute.
Get out of the car.
Whoa. Didn't I say that was a weapon? Didn't I say that was a weapon? As someone who lost their best friend because he got killed, because he got hit by a car, didn't I say that was a weapon? Now that right there about, I assume the officer, but I can't be certain of that. Lets you know one thing. They're human beings too. This is the thing. We're having friends in law enforcement. This is not to support either side. It's just common sense that is not so common today. That is a real person who went to work that day, put on all of this ICE agent gear, and will hopefully, in their mind, take it off to go back to their family like you should be going back to your family. But instead, you decide because of some political charge that is running through your veins, because of some ideology that you want to make sure that you live so much that everyone knows that this is how deeply I believe in it. You believe so much into this that you're willing to die for it. Now, how do you put yourself in harm's way like this when you have so much to live for? Now, you got to start weighing that out. You got to start knowing what plays to call before you run them, right? If not, you put yourself in this position. And that is putting yourself not just in harm's way, but in grave danger. Big difference. And when you do that, there are consequences to it, harsh consequences. And also, there's been harsh commentary about it. Let's continue to hear it.
Now, you see how fast some tables can turn? How quick people can choke on their own words when reality smacks them right in the fucking mouth. Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick, shall we? Because when it was Ashley Babbitt, the script was already written, right? Oh, she got what she deserved. No sympathy, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, then Trump jokes after an assassination attempt they shouldn't have missed. Crowd laughs, memes, then Charlie Kirk, protect your neck, singing, cheering, vibes immaculate. Halloween costumes, violence is funny then, huh? Death is comedy when it's politically convenient. But now a new POV drops instead of Twitter theories. Not spin, not vibes, actual fucking video of what went down. Irrefutable POV. And suddenly it's whoa, 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 let's slow down. Let's wait for the facts. Let's not jump to conclusions. Fuck out of here. Don't laugh about bullets when it's your enemy, and then cry about due process when it's your team. You don't meme someone's death one year and then demand compassion the next, like it's a fucking morality light switch. That's the double standard bullshit we're talking about. And lump Jasmine Crockett's ass into that shit too, with them fucking fake ass crocodile tears dripping from them cumbrellas on her fucking face. Is the woman dead? Yeah, that shit sucks. Do I feel bad? No. Oh, well, how can you say that? With my mouth. Oh, well, she had kids. Did she? Then her ass should have been at fucking home. Not in the fucking streets agitating people. Sucks she lost her life, but I feel bad for the dog. Shot by the same federal agent that Jacob Frey claims wasn't injured. And instead of consistency, all we got was spin, excuses, and silence from the same fucking people who told everyone to shut the fuck up and accept it when the roles were reversed. If violence is justified sometimes, then you don't actually fucking believe in justice, you believe in power. When that power points a gun at your side, suddenly it's not fucking funny anymore, right? Suddenly you don't like jokes about missing. Suddenly singing about protecting your neck feels real fucking personal. Funny how that shit works. Fuck the fake outrage, fuck the selective empathy. Not so fucking funny when you're getting your face blown off anymore, is it? If you cheered death before, keep that same energy now. And if you're uncomfortable all of a sudden, good. That's called consequences. No apologies.
Blah, blah, blah. You can see the daggers that are being thrown from both sides on the same thing. Someone wrote this earlier. It's amazing you can watch the same thing and have so many different perspectives. We all can watch the same game and then be like, whoa, I thought this. I thought it was Jalen Hurts' fault. No, it was A.J. Brown in that drop. Oh, it was the defense. They didn't get pressure. So it's happening in real world, real life. And the reason I'm using sports is not to make light of death. Is to put it in a perspective where you understand all these things count. All these things matter. Because we got to ask the hard questions. We got to ask the real questions. Did the officer feel like his life was in danger when he got hit by the car? Yes or no? Well, you got to remember where he's starting off from in terms of his alertness. You got to remember where he comes from in terms of looking at threats and danger, right? And they are always going to respect that I want to live, go back home first. I'm trying to secure this scene, but more importantly, I'm trying to secure my being. And if you're going to compromise that, then it's either you or me. It ain't going to be we. So in that situation, we've lost where people now, not only are they rooting for people against the people, which I hate. That's why I want to start talking politically. But more importantly than rooting against people, they're jumping for joy when that person has lost their life, died, damaged, hurt, which I just don't remember that space. I don't remember that much of that space being occupied in this world before, in this country before. But we're there. So I just want to tell everybody out there, especially itty bitties, this is what I'm really talking to, man. Do the right thing. And when you did the wrong thing, as I was having this conversation with my wife, there are times when you funk up, you messed up, and it's for free. That means you ain't get in trouble really, but you messed up. You know it. You messed up, and it could have went ugly. It could have went left, but it didn't. But don't forget, the universe whispers before it yells. So then there's going to be a time when you funk up and the whole world, there's going to be a time you funk up and it's going to cost you. There's a price to pay. And it could be hefty. It could be something you can't pay back. You can't get your life back. So that's all I'm trying to say is make sure people understand that, stay in the spirit of that. And don't let that divide you, right? Don't let that be the issue. Okay, we got a couple more topics. As I beat it up in the comments, let me see what y'all talking about on this. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Brand New says, speaking the truth, and again, people hate the truth. Yeah. Look, that is how many pounds? I mean, tons, 2-ton truck. It hits you. It ain't got to be going fast. Why would you want that as a proposition? Here's something, officer, I would like you to do, and the consequence of it is my life lost. Try and measure if I'm really trying to hurt you. Did I hit you? Did I hit you hard enough to hurt you? Did I put you in grave danger? Weigh all of that, and then your answer is going to be if I live or die. And then before that, it's based on I hate ICE. I hate ICE agents. Just know when you're doing something that's consequential. Be in that space. Be in that mental clarity. Have that mental clarity before you start going crazy. Okay? Either side. People thought, they said, Little Big Man said they thought white privilege would save them. I hear you. I don't think that was a white privilege moment. I think that's a moment where people get disillusioned when they say, you can't do anything to me. And I've seen black people do this too. I've seen every color do this. You know, I've seen people not even think about it. It doesn't have to be the imbalance of power. It could be y'all on the same playing field. You looking at somebody and they ain't got no weapons on them. You have no weapons on them, and you just start beefing. Y'all in a hot dog line at a damn game. How many games you go to and they're fighting? You don't think it's anything to it? What? Let's go. Bah, 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 bah. But that becomes a license to ill. Remember that song? Remember that album? Remember all that? Beastie Boys? License to ill. Why are you handing out license for people to ill on you? Or you to ill on them? So not everything is going to add up and even out. Some things get uneven. That's why you're supposed to keep it in the same space. I have thoughts against you. Let me keep my thoughts to myself. Or if I'm going to escalate my thoughts and if I'm going to take them to words, let these words stay the same. Let's stay on this level. You know, you get on the elevator, level 1, okay, floor 2, floor 3. Oh, you want to take them thoughts to words to actions? They come with consequences. They come with some grave consequences. Real spit. So sometimes what's crazy is I think maturity and professionalism and all that stuff comes with, sometimes you got to just, as you want to say, lie to kick it. You ain't got to lie to kick it was a saying and a slogan. Sometimes I think you got to lie to kick it. Do y'all remember this one? This is a classic.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me. And you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me. Because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man? For 10 years, so that we can get a child on his feet that says, yeah, father smiled at mother.
Blah, blah, blah. You know, on this show, we don't do all the identity politics. We don't even need to do the races. So not a black man, but white man. It is every man and every woman has gone through this. Displaced aggression. When at work, you take hell, you go home, you give hell. And you do it in relationships. I am guilty of this. I suck at that. I suck at the fact that of all the relationships I have, the one that has so much to carry and burden is my wife. She gets everybody that I don't like that I talk about. She gets everybody that I don't mess with. She gets all of that all into her to process, and vice versa though. And then we supposed to be on our merry way. It ain't so merry. We got a lot of the good that mixes in with there, but boy, it's many a days you're just making hot dogs. You know what it is. Go to the factory, go to the plant, everything left over. You just, here, make something good of this. All these bad relationships, all these bad situations, all these bad incidents. Let's make something good of this, baby. Let's make some hot dogs. I like steak, honey. Me too. But we ain't gonna eat that every day, are we? So in relationships, man, just be careful of displacing their aggression, because I know I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. And it's so like, I think it's almost like a generational curse, because when you go back to your defaults, you go back to what you normalized in, it's what you saw growing up. And what you saw growing up, especially our generation, is a lot of hard times for a lot of adults that came home and made it hell for them kids. Mama was leaking. Daddy was leaking. Mama was drinking, playing cards. Daddy wasn't home on time sometimes. It's a whole different animal, ain't it? And we got to be smart about that. We got to be real smart about that. If not, you know what's going to happen. You're going to lose something you love because you've been out there liking so much. You like so much in this real world that you call that real world when that's the fake world. You like things in the fake world, and then you're mad at things in the real world. And the real world is whoever's taking all of that and processing it with you, which is typically your husband or your wife. Oh, we got to say a prayer together because, boy, I need to work on that. We need to work on that. Like, flip it. Almost like, man, that's the fake world. Let me be realer in the real world. So, these, like she said, so the itty-bitties can grow up and they say, man, mama and daddy cool. Now, I'm going to be normal and cool. Don't normalize your kids to thinking it's always about some beef, some issues, some problems. Okay, so beat it up in the comments. And our last one, let's get out of here on rap music. You know me. Sports or rap music. We did our sports. We did a ton of sports. Every now and then you hear something and you're like, that's blasphemy. Every now and then you hear something like, man, that's so ignorant. But then at the same time, you're like, damn, I see where they're coming from. And you don't agree with it, but you be like, I hear you. Andre 3000, you know that's my favorite rapper. Him and Jerry Curl Ice Cube. We could keep going, but those are my guys. But Andre 3K stands at the top. Well, somebody wants to knock him down, and I ain't feeling it.
The most overrated rapper to me, and he's a legend, but I fell victim to this at one point too. And then I had to really sit down and really think about it, like, yeah, he's dope, but he might be overrated. Andre 3000. Only because he never put out a solo rap project and he gets GOAT status. You have to have a solo rap album.
He has an output of verses that could still rival somebody that is a solo artist. With the
Okay. Y'all heard the blasphemy already, right? Trying to break up this song. I didn't know it had it there. Crazy. Crazy. Unreal. That's all I need to go. I don't even want to let that finish. I don't want to shut down the live. I don't want to be mad. But Andre needs a solo rap album to be the best rapper, or he's overrated. Is that a strong argument? I mean, he had a solo album, even though it was a double disc, but he needs all that to do what? Did you listen to what he wrote? Did you listen to what he performed? Did you listen to what he said? Oh, I guess you didn't. Well, if you didn't, you will now. Because guess what? You're going to hear some Andre 3K out of me now. A lot of references coming, man. A lot of references. Thank you guys for rocking with me today, even though it was a weird start. Oh, my God, I've learned a lot. I'm 51 years old, knowing that you don't play with the NFL. Just learned today. Don't mess with their streams. Don't mess with their content. Love you guys. Have an amazing day. We back at it tomorrow. Strong, 5 o'clock. Get your way up. Let's get it. Peace.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the verse. Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.
Blah, 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 blah. Tell Coach JB I said, well,